So after that whole process, reality starts to hit me. Web series that I did, Road to Publicity, was terrible. Got negative reviews from it. Some people were being nice and said it could be better, and I felt bad about it. It's like all that work that I went through, the different phases, people investing in me, doing this, investing time, money, effort. It was all shit, man. It all went to waste. A lot of people to this day, they still talk to me about it. They notice the web series, they like it, and I look back and say, no, I don't. I could have did a lot better, but everything was so rushed, and this is my first time actually doing this, and the scenery and everything, the quality of just everything was terrible to me, and I just didn't enjoy it. So reality started to hit me that maybe I should step away from the whole acting and producing thing, and that's what I did for a while. Then I got into some other devastating problems. Had to leave my family member's house. Couldn't stay there any longer. Money was getting kind of tight, and my part of the rent wasn't working out. It wasn't enough. So I totally understood, and I left, and I thought I was gonna. I couldn't go back to my grandma's because she was in a facility at the time, and the facility they didn't allow young adults to be there living with them, and turned to my mom, and she was going through a lot. She was going through a lot of problems with the ex-husband and stuff like that, and things, and they were going through their deal. And I told my mom, I was like, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. You don't need any extra stuff right now. And I remember before I even said that, I was begging her. I was like, hey, Mom, I won't be in the way. I'll be in and out. I'll be there. I'll go to work, and I'll just sleep. It'd be like I'm not even there. I won't. My mom was like, no, but you just give it a few weeks. And I didn't have any few weeks. I had to leave my family member's house at a certain time, and when I left, I packed all my stuff, put it in the car, and I would drive around for a little bit, and it'll be a few nights where I would sleep in my car. And that's when I labeled myself as being homeless. I was actually homeless. A lot of my friends and family found out, and people were trying to open their doors to me, and I told them no. I was like, I don't need your help. I was being stubborn, but at the same time, in the back of my mind, I knew that I was saving up to get my own apartment. And push came to shove, man. The stubbornness paid off, because that's exactly what I did. And after doing that, I felt kind of good about myself again. Made more songs, got good reviews. Did a little acting skits. That went good. I got into a new relationship. That was going good. People actually, they started to, I felt like people started to like me again, through the aspect of what I was doing. And when that happened, I kind of opened up myself to the medium of being an actor and wanted to do a producer again, but I was more so putting my projects on hold and starting to jump into other people's projects. And one of the people's projects that I jumped into was Hayes Road. My man John Jericho, Andrew Jericho, and their children. I admire them, Jonah, and also my Jonah and his sister, man, Sarah. They opened their home to me, and we stayed there. I stayed there, and we did a web series together. They paid for me to come out there, and I felt honored. And they also told me that I was talented enough that they might pick me up and become a manager. And I felt humbled, and it was just an honor. I would have to say that those are like the best people that I've ever met, like family-wise. If I was ever to raise a family, I would want it to be just like them, because they were so happy. But the world didn't appreciate them because of who they were and what they represented. But they were so positive and so happy, and anything that their kids did, they were right there behind them to support them, no matter what it was. And they never wanted to take credit for it. And that's the type of, they showed me what being a family was all about, a true family was all about. And they didn't let money, any legal issues or anything like that get to them. And they weren't putting on the show, because to this day I still look at them and I still see them, and I see that they're still the same and they're not changing for anybody or anything. and I absolutely love them, and they said that they love me too, and that's like my second family. After that, started jumping into other movies, man, and trying to find myself a manager because I couldn't, you know, I had my own place and everything like that. I felt like I needed somebody to represent me, seeing I was going out here in the business side of the world, and that, let's just say that didn't go so well to start it off with.
Tied this up. No, you tied this part. Yeah, to keep it out of just in case.
Behind the scenes.
All right, I got
so
you.
be a little bit more energetic.
Got you.
Let me, I'm gonna do this. All right. Action. He thinks something up.
Something like what?
No, man, I mean, I was looking around for a manager. The whole Jericho family thing didn't work. They were going through some health issues, and I told them, I was like, hey, like, deal with that, and you know, I don't worry about me. I'll be all right. I'll find somebody. You know, I'll wait for you guys if need be. And they told me, they were like, yeah, Reggie, I think it'd be best if you just find somebody, you know. And I was like, okay. I tried looking, searched everywhere, and just trying to get a manager to represent me, man, and I couldn't find somebody, so I started representing myself. Things were going good for me. As I was representing myself, I made little cards, business cards and things like that, had my t-shirts and my brand and everything. And I actually ran into a producer on social media, and man, this guy, I don't know what his deal was, man, but he felt like he was the king of the world. I sent out an audition tape for him, and man, he called me back while I was at work, and I went on break, just blasting me, telling me, man, your audition tape was terrible. Man, it's hard to find good actors out here in Houston, man. What's wrong with y'all? You know, things like that. And he was like, yeah, man, luckily I'm in desperate need of an actor, and I'm using you. And yeah, man, if you would put this out in LA or something like that, you wouldn't even get a call back. Luckily, I'm calling you back. And I was like, wow. And I was like, man, like this is how grimy this acting field is. And then I realized that, man, I'm gonna do this thing for him, and I'm not gonna ever act in anybody's projects again. So come to find out, went to his house, went to the set and everything like that. Everybody else on set was cool. He's just still blasting everybody. He's not just blasting me, he's blasting everybody on their acting, on their everything like that. And he's just a top-notch guy. Got his whole crew up in there, you know, they have to bow down to him and do all this stuff, you know, but everybody else is cool with it. They're happy because they look at this guy as a guy, the person that's going to get them to the next level. And I look at him and I'm asking him these questions like, what have you done? What's your resume like? And he doesn't have anything. He basically was putting himself on a pedestal and making himself to be some type of big time producer so other people could respect him. And that was kind of wrong to me because my thing is, and I've learned that while I'm doing my web series today and all the skits today, you have to treat people the way that you want to be treated. And the whole world is an act. All of this is an act. I'm an act. This is all an act. So my thing is, you should appreciate these people for taking their time out to want to be a part of your project. You know what I'm saying? So he made it seem like we needed him when he actually needed us, but he just had to put himself on the pedestal like that because that's how the world works. And I pulled him to the side and I told him about himself, and he agreed. He was like, yeah, you're right, man, I am like that and I need to change. And I don't know if he's changed yet, but I haven't talked to him ever since. But he told me before I left, he was like, thanks for the words, man, that I'm going to carry that with me for the rest of my life. And I'm just glad that I laid knowledge on him to make him realize how to keep hope alive for other people that are trying to work with him, because you don't ever want to shoot nobody down, especially when they're working for you, because it's not gonna bring good results. And your thing is, as a producer, you're trying to make your project as best as possible. No matter how bad the acting is, if somebody has a good demeanor while they're doing it, it's gonna be a better result when somebody has a shitty demeanor, because they don't like working for you. But if they like working for you, you're going to get a better result than somebody that's not liking working for you. And I sucked up my pride and I did my acting thing and I got out of there. But I would have to say, working with him, that was one of the worst things that I could have done. And that's when I realized that I'm never wanting to be in another web series unless it's mine, unless it's my project. Because I know how I'm going to treat myself and I know how I'm going to treat the people that come into my projects. And ever since then, the people that have been working with me have been said they've been honored and they want to keep on working with me over and over again because I don't bullshit them and I don't use them and I don't make them feel less than, I don't make them feel shitty at all. I make them feel, like they're appreciated. And I think that's what producers should do.